Piece presentation. Thank you so much for coming here today. Without much further ado, let's get into it. So this is my review, and this is what we're going to discuss today. We are going to talk about the story arc ranking. So an arc is just a collection of episodes. It kind of forms a little story, and you've got like little stories in each part, and they each have their own title. So I'm gonna rank my favorite ones. So ground rules: spoilers up to 151. Anything above and you will be banned. So because I've seen it. So if don't you go putting in a certain word or food item, because anyways. Second thing is, it's not really a ground rule, but I might be doing this weekly if you guys enjoy this. And third rule, feel free to prove me wrong. If there's anything that I say that you kind of think, then feel free to prove me wrong, okay? The first thing we're going to talk about is One Piece arcs. So I have made a list. There you go. This way. Ta-da! So this is a list of all the One Piece arcs up to 151. This is everything that I've watched. And I know you might have heard people talk about arcs, but I always forget which arc is what. Someone will say, oh yeah, Whiskey Peak. And I'm like, what? I struggled to remember what each arc is. So Romance Dawn arc, so that's the first 3 episodes. That's the first one where you meet Luffy, you meet Zoro, and Zoro's just tied up in the marine base, and it looks like he's gonna, but Luffy saves him, and you get to meet Nami for the first time. And then we're going to Orange Town arc, where you see Buggy for the first time. Buggy's a clown. And then Syrup Village is where you meet Usopp, Kaya, who's Usopp's friend, love interest. She's absolutely lovely. She's a sweetheart. And she's getting poisoned by her butler because she's got a lot of money, and her butler is trying to obviously kill her. But she thinks that she's ill. She thinks she's like chronically ill because she can't do anything, right? She's very, very ill, and she thinks that she's being given medicine all the time, but he's just poisoning her. So this is where you get to meet Usopp, and in this whole adventure, they end up getting the Going Merry, which is the most amazing boat ship in the world. Okay, absolutely amazing. And then we go into Baratie arc. So Baratie arc, Baratie is the name of a ship restaurant. So it's just like this restaurant, which is on a ship in the middle of the sea. It's such a great idea. Great for marketing, obviously. You're right in the middle of the sea, you're starving. Hey, a ship restaurant. A restaurant in a pirate ship is great. And that's where Sanji works. That's where we first meet Sanji. And it goes through quite a lot of different things. And that's also where Zoro has his first fight with Mihawk, and you can see that Zoro just isn't there yet in terms of skill. He's just, he needs a lot of work, right? He needs to really practice. And Mihawk is the world's greatest swordsman, right? He is the absolute best. And Zoro just can't compete at this point. So this is why we first see that as well. And then we go on to the Arlong Park. So Arlong Park is when they go back to where Nami used to be from. So all this time you see Nami, and all she thinks about is money. That's all that's going through her head. All she cares about is money. Money, 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 money. And she will steal from pirates, and she'll try to extort people and just get lots of cash money from any way she can get. She'll work super hard. And sometimes it just seems like she's just selfish, but this is where you kind of see her backstory and the fact that this horrible sort of group of people have been keeping her family and the whole village actually under some awful conditions, and they have this tax imposed on them. So she's been saving up money to free her whole village, which is, you know, something that she's been trying her whole life. And he, you know, she got captured. Her whole village got captured when she was really, really young, and she started kind of working from him for him. She was doing kind of an inside job because from a very early age, you know, she wanted to help her family. Also, bearing in mind that Arlong, the guy she was working for, I mean, you guys, as I said, spoilers, killed her mother in front of her and her sister. So it's very, very traumatic backstory. Very, very traumatic, very sad. And she's been trying so hard to free a village. He set up this incredible, ridiculous amount of money that she needs to get. And she finally has it. She finally has it. And she's like, I've worked for you, basically in slavery, and she's making money on the side. And she goes to him, she's like, I've got the money. And he then tips the Marine, and the Marine goes and confiscates the whole money because everything is just corrupt. And yeah, so that is a very, very emotional and incredible story, and you get to understand Nami as a whole, and it's just, I absolutely love it. And then you go on to Loketown arc. So Loketown is a place of huge significance. On the very, very first episode, right at the start, when you see Goldie Roger get executed, he gets executed in Loketown. He's the one who says, you know, if you want my treasure, it's all there in one place, go find it. He's the one who inspired this, you know, One Piece chase, or the fact that everyone wanted to go and get that. So this is when we first see Smoker. This is when Buggy and Luffy, you know, get in a fight, and like Luffy is about to die. Because yes, Buggy tried to kill him, okay? I don't know why so many people like Buggy, but look, seriously, Buggy literally tried to kill Luffy. What? And Luffy was saved by a mysterious lightning that just caused the whole platform where he was stood to fall down. It was a very moment, but I think at this point it looks like he was saved by this mysterious guy in the green hoodie called Dragon. No, not hoodie, green cape called Dragon. Which we all have. We don't really know who he is yet. But there's also obviously the Luffy Smoker battle at this, well, encounter at this point as well. Then you're going to see Buggy's Crew Adventure Chronicles. So this is in Orange Town. Luffy and Buggy, they just got into a fight, and it was hilarious because then you got little teeny tiny Buggy, because Buggy has the chop fruit ability, so he can like split his body apart. And the brilliant idea they had was to just get bits of his body and put it into like different containers, so it ended up being just like a tiny little Buggy, which is hilarious. So I think that this is more episodes about that. And then we're going to Warship Island, which a lot of people tend to skip, but oh my gosh, it's such a good, I love this fella. It's great because it's this little girl, and they've got these huge dragons that people think they don't exist anymore, but they do. And these dragons, they kind of get together once every 1,000 years, and there's a lot going on, and he really wants to be with his other fellow dragons again. And there's this whole story about them trying to get the dragon to where he needs to be, and there's people trying to get the dragon because they believe that if they get the dragon's scale, I think, then they'll live forever. So obviously there's people interested in killing the dragon, but they're trying not to do that. And then we're going to Reverse Mountain arc, which is Laboon. Oh my gosh, Laboon is the cutest whale ever. It's this huge whale, and he had friends, some amazing friends, and some of his friends went off to the sea, and this one guy was like, yeah, we're gonna come back for you, because they wanted to bring a Laboon with them, but where they were going would be too dangerous for this huge whale, and they were like, well, we can't take you because we want you to be safe, and it's, you know, too dangerous and everything like that. But we will come back for you. But it's been like 50 years, and the whale is waiting. The whale keeps waiting on the side of this mountain, and it keeps trying to break the mountain as well. But so that's why it's all hurt, and it's so sad. And Monkey D. Luffy then paints his flag. Oh, by the way, there's also someone living inside the whale. So there's this guy who wants to take care of the whale, but because the whale is so big, he decides to make like a whole thing inside the whale. So he's got a whole base inside the whale. He's painted the whale. It's painted the top of the whale inside, like with skies, and it's really funny. But yeah, he does whale maintenance from inside the whale because he's like a doctor, so he always takes care of the whale from the inside, which is funny. But yes, so Laboon is he's such a sweetheart, really cute. I absolutely love it. And Laboon's very, very sad, obviously, but Luffy gives him another reason to keep going, because Luffy's like, hey, I'm your opponent now, right? I'm gonna, you have to find, you know, a new way to have motivation to keep going. And it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And then we get Whiskey Peak. So that is Baroque Works. That's where we get introduced to Baroque Works. And basically they go from, you know, the reverse mountain area to this place, which looks really amazing. Everyone's like, oh yay, they're here. They're very welcoming, or so they seem. But what they don't know is just like a bunch of these pirate bounty hunters together, who, what they do is they'll bring everyone, like they'll welcome any pirate that comes over. They'll make them feel super special. They'll throw this huge party. They're like, oh no, we love you. Hey, you're great. Come on, come and enjoy our food, enjoy our drinks. It's all on us, you know. We are so friendly. But what they're really trying to do is they're trying to get them all, you know, drunk and happy and whatever, and then they'll go and claim the bounties on them, right? And Baroque Works is part of this huge, very scary organization as well. And then we get a couple of episodes of Kobe and Helmeppo. Kobe, you know, the guy with the pink hair that you see right at the beginning, very cute. Again, bit annoying at first, I'd say in the first few episodes, but you get to see a little bit more of them. You get to see that they're actually following the dreams. Helmeppo was a terrible, really annoying guy at the beginning, but at this point you can actually see he's actually trying. He wants to be a better person. He actually wants to make something of himself, a little bit, not as much as Kobe. And then you go to Little Garden, which is an island with two huge giants, and they have this 100-year-long, I think it's probably more. they have this huge fight. They were fighting about something, and they care a lot about their honor. So they're very honorable people, which means that they have accepted each other's duel, and they'll go and they'll fight. So every so often they'll go and they'll fight, and they've had, I don't know, I think it was over 3,000 matches, and all of those ended in oh my gosh, a draw. I forgot the word. So all of them ended in a draw, right? And because they're just as good as each other, and they really try. However, Baroque Works have followed, I believe they followed the Straw Hats into here, and they are trying to mess with the giants, and they're trying to kill the giants. They're trying to kill, you know, the Straw Hats, and it's just a whole big thing, and it's a bit difficult. Also, before they do go into Little Garden, someone tells them, which is Miss All Sunday, Robin, when she's still in Baroque Works, she tries to warn them, but they end up going anyway. Anyways, and then we're going to Drum Island, which is Chopper's backstory. Oh my gosh, I love Chopper's backstory. It's so sweet. You get to see Chopper, the cute little reindeer that ate a human fruit, so he can turn into a human. But it was so sad. First of all, he has a blue nose, so he was already weird to his own kind to begin with, and he got looked down upon. And then what happened? He ate that fruit, and then he looked even weirder to them. But obviously he wasn't a human, and he wasn't a reindeer, and then he got rejected by everyone, and it was so sad. But he was so cute, and he is it's just such, it's, yeah. And then his mentor, his doctor, he's his favorite person who helped him a lot, ended up being very ill, and Chopper tried his absolute hardest, and he's really brave, and he goes in to get this mushroom that he thinks is what's going to cure this guy. And when he gets back, he's all, you know, he's been beaten up, he's faced a lot of struggles, and he comes back and he's got, it's okay because I've got this mushroom. But what he didn't know, because he wasn't a doctor at this point, right? He's still learning, but what he didn't know is that what he picked up was poison, and the doctor knew that. The doctor knew that that wasn't medication, but he knew that he was going to die anyway. So he ate the mushroom, and he was like, you know what? Thank you so much, because he didn't want to let Chopper down, and then he just goes into this whole thing of trying to, because the island as well is also going through a lot of bad stuff, and obviously amongst the whole thing, Luffy and the Straw Hats end up helping the people, and also taking care of Chopper, and that's where Chopper joins the Straw Hat group as well, and it's a really, really nice arc that I really, really enjoy. And then we've got Alabasta. Now that is that's where you start getting the long arcs. That is a long arc. That is very, in comparison to the ones that we've seen before, that's quite a long one. So you first meet Vivi in Whiskey Peak, because she is the princess of Alabasta, but she's working undercover with the Baroque Works people. So she's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, she's working undercover, and then she goes and kind of starts hanging out with the Straw Hats, because they've realized they've got a common goal, and then they go, and there's a lot happening in Alabasta, and they eventually beat Crocodile after losing to Crocodile. And then after Alabasta, you get 5 episodes, which I really like. 5, which I really like, because they're like little filler episodes. So you get one about Chopper, one about Nami, one about Sanji, one about Usopp, and one about Zoro. They're like different, not necessarily like, they're not backstories, but they're focused on them, and they're really, really cute. I really enjoyed those. Then you go to the Goat Island arc, which is this guy has lots of goats. He had a lot of money that got eaten by the goats, but he loves the goats anyway. And obviously there's other people trying to get the money. But yeah, that's really, really cute. And then you get the Ruluka Island, which is another filler arc, but I must say it's good. There's some annoying characters in there, but you kind of understand it later. If you were never to watch One Piece, but you wanted to watch something that was actually really interesting, and that involved some sort of time travel / alternate reality, that is all together, makes sense, and it's in one little bit, I would actually just recommend just watch those episodes 139 to 143. Like, even if you have no previous knowledge of One Piece, the way it's so good. It's so good. If you watch all those episodes, you're not going to understand the first couple, but by the last episode, you're like, oh my gosh. It's really well made. I think it's really, really good. Really, really good. And then you go into the Txai arc, which is like, I would say it's just a prequel to Skypia, which is where I am now, but we're not going to talk about Skypia just yet. Txai arc is just this little place that they're at the moment, and there's some, and that's where Mont Blanc Cricket lives. This guy is a descendant from Noland, Mont Blanc Noland, and Noland was branded as a liar because he said he saw this city made of gold, but obviously when people went to look at this city, it didn't exist. So people thought he was a liar, but we'll see what happens next. I'm not going to say too much because that it doesn't explain everything in this arc anyway, but that's where they are, and that's and then the Straw Hats really want to go to the Sky Island. A lot of people think the Sky Island is a myth at this point, but the Straw Hats are like, nope, we want to go, and Cricket thinks that there might be a way to do it, so he helps the Straw Hats to go into the Sky Island, or go onto this knock-up stream that takes the ship right into the sky. So for me, the best ever is Drum at this point in time. Drum Island is my favorite, because of Chopper, because of Chopper's backstory. I really, the way that they've shown little Chopper and how he really tried so hard to just be, he just wanted to be accepted by people, and he wanted to help, and I think that was heartbreaking and cute, and I loved how they then accepted him in the end, and he's still to this episode, still now, he's been part of the Straw Hats for quite a while now, he still gets so surprised when people are actually nice to him as well. He's very cute. Chopper's my absolute favourite. The second best arc, I would say, is the Arlong Park arc. It's very, very well made. It's one that really breaks my heart every time I think about it, and it has some of the most iconic moments. The third best arc, is the Alabasta arc. So I think this might be a bit of a hot take putting it in third place, but the Alabasta arc, I think it was very long, and in terms of the most amazing bits, I think the number of episodes to iconic memory ratio is lower than Arlong Park and Drum Island as well. So and I think I just enjoyed the other stories a little bit more, but there was some really iconic moments in Alabasta that I absolutely loved. And the other reason as well why I ranked Alabasta third is because that arc revolves around obviously the Straw Hats, but also Vivi, who's the princess, and they're helping her get her country back, but she's not. She obviously she ends up not being a part of the main Straw Hat crew because she's got her people that she wants to take care of. Whereas the Arlong and Drum Island Park are direct stories for Straw Hat members. So that's why I've ranked those two above Alabasta. So yeah, and then the least best ones are the and I was gonna say worst, but they're not actually bad. They're just not as good as the other ones, I think. So Little Garden Arc it's good. Okay, it's good. I laughed, I cried. I thought there were some bits that were really, really, really emotional, but in the end, nothing really happens. Like there's not much that happens there, in my opinion, because anything that happens get unhappened. Dory and Broggy, they're just. I was absolutely heartbroken when I saw they had died, but no. Not that I wanted them to, I didn't want them to die, but I don't know, it just feels like nothing actually changed, whether they had been there or not. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there was that much impact on it. And then again, Buddy Screw Adventure Chronicles, I actually, it's just only a couple of episodes. I actually think that was fun and funny, but it's only a couple of episodes and it didn't have a lot of depth to it. So that's the only reason why I saw that. And Goat Island, again, I had to pick one because I wanted 3, and it's not necessarily bad, and I think there was some really, really funny bits. I was actually going to put the Rainbow Mist on there because I think Goat Island arc is actually better than the Rainbow Mist one. I don't think it's called Rainbow Mist. It's a Ruluka Island. But the reason why I picked Goat Island instead is because the actual Rainbow Mist story, as by itself, as something, if you're looking at it from a alternative reality or time traveling point of view, I think it's brilliant. I mean, there was a couple of characters that really frustrated me because they were annoying from the get-go. But it was a kid, so, and obviously, but I kind of understood it at the end. Yeah, so it was one or the other, but I think I ended up going for the Goat Island arc. Again, not necessarily bad, but not least best one. I would love to have a review, and if you guys liked things like this, then please let me know. If you don't like it, please let me know, because I would rather know if you guys want more of this content. But if you prefer you know, gaming content, or if you prefer content where we're like talking back and forth, you know, there's some content that I've done recently which is Txai react. So if you guys want me to react to different things, I'd love to do that as well. So there's quite a few things I'm trying out, just putting things out there, and whatever sticks, right? So basically, if you like something, tell me. If you don't like something, tell me so I stop trying it. So much, guys. I've had so much fun just talking to you guys about One Piece. It was absolutely amazing. And I just wanted to thank today's sponsors, which is HelloFresh. But yeah, so if you guys didn't know, HelloFresh are giving discounts to the next 18 people. So I think there's 18 discounts left. If you are new to HelloFresh and you are living in the UK and you want to get your first box for 60% off, so I think you can get 6 meals for 2 people each. Sorry, three meals for 2 people each, so 6 meals in total for about £11. If you do want to have that, just go on my screen and type in !HelloFresh. But thank you so much, HelloFresh. I really appreciate it, and honestly, guys, I absolutely loved doing this presentation because I love talking about anything and everything.